Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you guys my current routine for a glam full face of makeup. That's my go-to for pictures and videos because it looks great on camera and it's also heat and humidity proof. So let's get started. I start with a primer. This is the Professional Matte Rescue and I apply it on the T-zone of my face. It mattifies my skin really well and also prevents shine throughout the day. Next up, because I'm really excessive, I'm going in with Banila Co's Prime Primer, and this has a green tint that counteracts a lot of redness in my skin and also helps really smooth out and blur out all of my pores. I'm seriously hooked on this stuff. It's so good and it makes my skin look really flawless. Then I actually set my entire face with powder, a very thin layer of loose powder, and I know what you're thinking, what the hell, you're applying powder right now? But yeah, this really seals in all of your primer, your sunscreen and your moisturizer, and it prevents a lot of shine throughout the day and it helps your makeup stay put. Next up is foundation. I'm using Born This Way by Too Faced and this is in warm beige. It gives a really nice satin to matte kind of finish and it matches my skin tone exactly and it's lovely. I love it. Oh my god. I'm using the foundation brush from L'Oreal and just applying a thin layer across my face and then adding a little bit more as and when I need it. We're going into concealer now, and the first thing I want to do is cover my under eye circles, so I'm actually using the Boeing Hydrating Concealer, and I'm such a burden. I have to use two shades because one is too light and two is too dark, and once again blending out with a foundation brush. I'm using the Airbrush Concealer now. It's actually new from Benefit and it feels like a whipped mousse that's been frozen in the fridge for like a few hours. It has a sheer to medium coverage and it's really nice and light on the skin, which is why I'm actually applying it on my dark spots and hyperpigmentation. Okay, now this part is a bit extra, like you don't need 3 concealers, but I'm actually using the industrial strength one and this is my favorite concealer from Benefit. To get my exact shade, I actually have to mix both shades 1 and 2, which is really excessive. I'm being extra AF. It's really great for covering any pimples or blemishes and I'm just, dabbing a little here and there and blending it around the edges. Next up, I'm gonna hit my face with that cream contour and I'm using a Hoola Quickie stick and it's really nice. It's a very perfect shade of brown. I'm just going over my cheekbones and my jaw and a little bit on my temples. It gives a really natural shadow and if I blend it out, okay, it's looking a little muddy there, but I'm gonna clean it up real soon. Once I blend it out, it really melts seamlessly into your foundation and it looks like a very natural and very dainty contour, which is what I like. Then I actually dabbed a bit of Benetint on both my cheeks, but I seriously don't know where that footage went, so let's just move on to highlighter. I'm using Girl Meets Pearl. This is also one of my favorites from Benefit. Oh my gosh, it gives you such a nice, natural, almost like champagne kind of flush and it's really soft and really dewy and I don't know, it's just a very natural, beautiful glow. Alright, keeping a lid on everything by setting loose powder all over my face. This is from MAC, it's the Prep and Prime Loose Powder and I really like it because it's really seamless. It's also translucent so there's no like awkward white cast. Let's get into brows now. I'm using Precisely My Brow in shade 5 and it's a little bit dark but I absolutely love it when it's so dark because I can draw individual hairs on and it's very, very clear and very crisp and they actually look like hairs, so I'm just drawing very evenly across my brow, using really quick, fast strokes to kind of achieve that natural brow look. I'm now combing out with a spoolie and going in with browsings. I'm actually just using the powder and I'm just dabbing and setting my entire brow and filling out the front parts of my brow. This really helps your brow to stay put even in the heat and humidity of Singapore. Oh my god, God bless. I'm gonna use brow mascara to set everything now. I'm using Gimme Brow by Benefit and it's in shade 5. It also is really, really dark but really nice. It's so me and I just comb it out and it makes my individual hairs look really dark and so it makes my eyebrows look really full and beautiful. Let's move on to eyeshadow now. I'm actually using the Natural Eyes palette from Too Faced. I'm using a flat shader brush from e.l.f. to dip into the shade Heaven and it's a matte light yellow and I'm just using it to highlight my brow bone on the tops of my brows and right in my inner corners. Next up, I'm using the shade Nudie on my blending brush from e.l.f. as well and using it to buff out my outer corners. I take a little bit at a time, I buff it out and then add more color and buff it out again so I get a really soft kind of look. I'm now dipping into this beautiful champagne rose gold kind of color called Silk Teddy and applying it on my lids. And then going back with my blending brush and buffing it out with the brown as well. Finally, I'm using this dark chocolate brown called Sexpresso, and I'm just lining my eyes. This creates a very soft shadow on my eyeline and makes the eyeliner look less harsh. I'm now lining my eyes with the Browlash EX waterproof eyeliner and lining a very simple cat eye. I never seem to mention this eyeliner, but I actually really like it and I think it's quite affordable. You can find it in Watson's, I think, for like 20 bucks. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes with my Shimura eye color and I'm just, it looks so scary. Going in with a quick coat of mascara, I'm using Roller Lash, which is my new favorite mascara of all time, and also popping some falsies on. Now, I got these from Japan, so I can't actually like show you what they are, but they are so fluttery and wispy and beautiful, and no matter how troublesome they are, I will always do it because it is worth it. We're done with the eyes, so we're actually moving on to the cheeks. I'm actually using an oldie but a goodie. This is the Hoola bronzer. This is actually optional, but I really like going over my cream contour with a powder bronzer because it gives a very natural shading. I'm also using an eyeshadow blending brush to contour my nose. I feel like the foundation and concealer erases my shadows and makes my nose look really flat, so this is my way of reintroducing shadows back into my nose. Also dabbing a little on my outer corners because why not? I'm going to layer Rockateur over my Benetint stained cheeks now. This is seriously one of my favorite blushes and all my friends love it as well. It gives your cheeks like the most beautiful rosy flush and it's just, gorgeous. I'm topping my cheeks off with High Beam and this is one of the most intense liquid highlighters I have ever had in my life. It's just, wow. You only need a couple of drops and I think even in the video I put a bit too much, so you can kind of gauge like a little bit goes a very long way. And finally, for lips, I love going back in with Benetint and applying it all over my lips and then doing another coat right in the center of my lips and then smearing it out. Then I just top it off with a tinted lip balm. This is the Fresh Sugar Lip Balm in Rose. I've been using this for a long while now, which is why it looks a little messy, but I love it nonetheless. And that's it! That's my current go-to glam look and I use this a lot for my videos as well as for photo shoots. I'm actually doing a giveaway on my favorites from Benefit as well, so hint all those that I've mentioned that I really love in the video. I'm gonna list everything in the description bar below from what I'll be giving away to how you can enter, so don't forget to check that out. Thank you so much for watching and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and don't forget to hit that bell button next to my subscribe button to be notified when I make a new video. See you guys soon!